All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing an educational commentary. And during this commentary, the focus of the commentary is going to be around preserving your materials and finishing fights quickly, okay? Because a lot of people, if you run into good players, you might go into a back and forth long fight with them and you use a lot of mats, wood, brick, resources. So I'm gonna focus on actually. Fortunately, this guy got the gun. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to hop around here until I find an opening with a gun. But yeah, the focus of this commentary, if I make it out alive, is killing people with minimum resources and minimum ammo used, minimum materials used. Because the meta, in my opinion, when you're going against a lot of good players, is you want to got a good couple hits on her. Yep, she just went for a bandage. That's not smart. And this really will apply once I get out of Tilted, because in Tilted you're not really using a lot anyways. But I'm gonna show you guys like little tips and tricks, little techniques to get like cheap shots on your opponent without having to commit too much. Fighting from the low ground so you don't have to build too much. All that stuff is gonna come into play during this commentary, hopefully. And the reason why I'm doing this commentary is because after playing a lot of scrims and after competing in tournaments with high-level players, it's very apparent to me that the best way to succeed is to hold on to your materials, hold on to your mats, hold on to your equipment. It's the best way to succeed in those tournaments. So that is exactly what we're going to try to do. Right now I've got some clingers, and clingers is another way you can really finish people off quickly. I made a commentary last week talking about clingers and how effective they are. So we'll probably show a little bit more of that today. I put a ramp on top of this guy, and then I have like control over when I push him and when I don't. I edited down on him. He was not expecting that. So I only ended up using like 30 wood there. And that's mainly so I don't take damage back. But going for those early shots and editing down on your opponent is another way that you can finish fights quicker. A lot of people, they'll take the high ground, and you could just hold the high ground and wait. But if you're quick with your edits, editing down on them is extremely hard to predict. And a lot of times you will catch people off guard. And I'm going to be using the new SMG here, the new shotgun. I mean, I'm gonna keep this over here. I'm just gonna box it up so no one takes it, because it looks like I'll be fighting around Tilted for a little bit longer. So I'm gonna keep it there just so I know it's there. Farm some more wood. All right, we just got sniped at. I think it was from the top over there, right? I want to say it was from, yeah, it was from that window. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna shoot his wall, get it like really weak, right? I'm wondering, is he still in there? It looks like he built up a little bit, because I was gonna try to clinger his walls. I think I just got shot from the side. I think there's somebody on top of me right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna break into this building. Looks like he's coming over the top. That person on the side is probably shooting at him. I'm gonna go ahead and sneak on over out the backside. He just took a launch pad. Interesting. So he took a launch pad to run away. I'm gonna take a launch pad to push this guy. Two quick shots. He's down. Still got these clingers. And I still have the big shields available, but I kind of want to hold on to the clingers because you can like I said, I'm talking about finishing fights quickly, and there's a lot of good ways to finish fights quickly with clingers. I hear shots in this direction. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut on through. The fight is already over, so what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna land, start shooting. Right? She's over here. There we go. This gun is ridiculously good. So I got on top. I got on top, took the high ground, and dropped down on her once I felt like I had an advantage. This guy's gonna go ahead and build over the top, so I'm gonna go ahead and I have him trapped right now, so I just gotta do this. There we go. So I had him trapped, but I didn't actually have any traps. So what I did instead was I threw two clingers. One of them blew up the ramp. The other one did damage to him, weakening him tremendously. But if I had three clingers, I could have thrown another one. I just didn't want to risk him shooting the ramp, because if he shot the ramp, he would have killed both of us. With two clingers on it, like let's say I throw the two clingers and then he just starts spam shooting, right? He would have killed both of us, and that would have been pretty. So I didn't want to risk that. I put it in my hands. I settled for the 100 damage guaranteed instead of 200, just so I don't risk dying, especially because I had that fight under control. So I do have one C4, but I'm not gonna hold on to one C4 over one shield. The clingers was a different story because I had multiple clingers, but I just used them in that fight. I'm gonna go back here. I remember I placed a shield over here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just use that so no one else picks it up and uses it against me. So still hanging around Tilted. If we're talking about where people might be coming from, most likely the people who are coming from Greasy have already came, but there are a lot of rifts around the Tilted area that can take people into Tilted, and I think there's somebody on top right now. Yeah, he's on the high ground, and just to preserve the mats, I'm gonna come in here and I'm building up. I'm not really protecting my top, but I eventually will as I get closer. Trying to see where he is. Yeah, he's right over there. So we can just edit out from here, put this down, come up top. We got a good shot on him. He's got high ground again. We're gonna do the same thing. Get over the top. Try to edit down on him. There we go. So I used like 250 wood in that engagement, but most of the wood was used coming up the hill. So to be honest with you, like it really wasn't even that much. And the reason why it wasn't that much is because I wasn't obsessed about taking the high ground from this guy. I wasn't obsessed about taking the high ground from him. My main focus was to just get a shot off on him. So a lot of times, if you're focused too much on taking the high ground, you miss opportunities to get shots on your opponent. And believe me, there's so many opportunities to get shots on your opponent. This guy right here, he's gonna be shooting us with the AR. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop down real quick. I'm holding this angle. I want to see what he does. Looks like he's gonna run inside. He might be exiting out this back door right here. Yeah. I mean, this guy's just giving it to me. He's not really doing a good job. He's gonna come out this door. There we go. This heavy shotgun is doing work right now, but we're using it in the proper context. Like, we're not using it at range. We're really focusing to use it closer, and we're holding angles and like baiting people into walking into the shotgun blasts. So it's super easy to use when you know how to use it properly. And In scrims and in high level games, to be completely honest with you, you're not really gonna be able to get. Oh, there was a blue Tommy I missed. That's okay. You're not gonna really be able to get a lot of shotgun shots against a good player. So having like a tack or a heavy or a pump, while they are good shotguns, and I'm not saying they're not useful, but I think the heavy shotgun, I've seen some top tier players like Liquid Poach, for example, prefer the heavy tremendously, and he uses it in a specific play style that helps him take down high level opponents very quickly. And that only really works because you have to have good situational awareness of where your opponents are, and you have to have good aim, because you only get 2 shots with this thing, and if you mess up those shots and you have to reload, it's not a good look. You either gotta bring your opponent down to barely any health, or you gotta kill them. And if you land 2 direct body shots with this thing in close range, that's 140 something damage each. They are going to die in that situation. So the heavy shotgun. It's not the heavy shotgun. I keep saying heavy because of the new sniper. It's a double-barreled shotgun. Double-barreled. I see some people fighting, but you know, I'm not in the storm, and I think that like the best thing to do for me right here, I mean, since this guy has eyes on me, he's like kind of moving towards me. He's in the middle right now, and the other guy's shooting at him too. But my priority right now is to get into the circle, and if anything, actually, it's probably to take this high ground. That guy just died, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to get both these kills, but I'm gonna take this high ground before that guy takes it, and I'm in a good spot right now. Got 1 hit on him. Gonna go ahead and just hold this angle real quick. Watch my backside because there is a 1x1 over there. So let's go ahead and come down here. This guy's probably gonna be. My ramps, unfortunately, are building in the wall. Let's get over the top real quick. He just jumped into the storm. So one thing my opponent did wrong there was he was very predictable in his movement. Like, I saw him walk out of the storm. I kind of predicted that he was going to come out the side right there. When you gotta be unpredictable. You gotta be like a little harder to predict. Not completely unpredictable, a little harder to predict. A lot of times people run in very, very projected paths. Like, oh, I'm gonna run outside of this, and I'm gonna run around, and I'm gonna come like on this side. Like, when you become easy to read, what happens is you make it easier for your opponent to land shots on you. Like, they don't even have to really think about the shots. They just line up their crosshair and you walk into it. What that guy could have done in that situation is, first of all, running into the storm like that, while it wasn't the smartest decision, it was something that was like a little bit like unorthodox, and you can throw people off by doing that. But running out of the storm and then coming right out the side that you were like, it was in the direction that he was coming from in the first place. That's a bit too much. He could have ran out, went the other side so that he held some like line of sight with the walls, or ran out and then came underneath from the walls. This guy right here looks like he's doing something fancy. Like, he's like, I'm actually gonna just build up, and I'm gonna cut down and just get right underneath him. Now he's using his drum gun, but eventually he has to reload his drum gun. And I'm just gonna keep moving like as much as I can. Seems like he's so right here I'm gonna go ahead and knock him down. I think I hit him once. Yeah, I hit him once. He's kind of weak. He's probably gonna start drum gunning me here after this. So I'm only gonna pop this mini. I'm not even gonna bother popping the rest of the stuff. Reload my shotgun, and then I'm gonna come out the side. I'm gonna bounce pad up. And finish him off. A bit of a risky fight to take, but you know, this guy looked like one of those guys who was like obsessed with holding the high ground, and the storm is coming in, so I don't really want to like wait too long before finishing him off. And you see how I fought him from the low ground, but I found angles that worked for me, and I made them, you know, kind of work against them. That's what you want to do. The storm is coming in. I'm just gonna take a launch pad. I don't have time to do like a mega bounce because I don't want to lose more health. I don't have like good healing right now. I see somebody behind this tree, and I'm just making sure there's nobody up on this hill so I don't get shot from this hill. And it looks like I'm just gonna come down on this guy Hopefully he doesn't see me. No, it looks like he does see me. He's already building up in my direction. I'm gonna go ahead and block his shots initially. I'm gonna start moving up towards him. He's shooting grenade launchers, so I'm just gonna come a little close. Get over the top again. Just there we go. So this storm does 5 damage per tick. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this, reload this, and I'm gonna go grab the big shield. Gotta be careful here. So we got 2 of these. You can actually use both of them at once, and I recommend you do that. You just gotta stand in between them like this so that they both tick. And the reason I'm doing that is one of them wouldn't get me to full health anyways. And I need to heal fast before somebody shows up and kills me. So you notice in a lot of these fights, I'll take high ground temporarily and I'll drop down on my opponent. But the way I drop down on my opponent is it's a little more calculated than it seems. I'm not just allowing people, because a lot of times you take high ground, and a lot of you tell me this. Hey, Cypher, a lot of times I'll take high ground, my opponent stays low ground, and then, you know, I don't know what to do, and then I drop down, and then I get killed. When you drop down, you got to drop down while reading your opponent and what they're doing. That guy shot a lot of SMG bullets into me, and I only returned a little bit of fire to him, and the fire I returned was hitting him. He initially was just spraying my walls down. So you gotta be alert in the sense of how many bullets do my opponents have? Like how many, like does my opponent have to reload his shotgun? Does he have to reload his AR? Does he have to reload his SMG or rocket launcher? When your opponent is in a position of reloading, or if they're low on ammo in a specific gun, that's a better time to push, because even if he shot me with a shotgun really well, he would have to swap to his AR or his SMG, and both of those guns, I'm pretty sure he had low ammunition on them anyways. So you got to be hyper aware of not just your own situation when it comes to bullets and guns, but also what your opponent's rocking. So this guy's looking at me with a sniper rifle. Looks like he's pretty focused. I'm gonna go ahead and use these bounces. Go ahead and just box up here. Block that shot. Now he's shooting, right? I know he has to reload a little bit. Taking high ground. I'm gonna go ahead and kill him right there. Pop this. One player remaining. I'll go ahead and just take this heavy shotgun for now. Pick that up. And I will take this for the memes. Keep the scar for the long range. So when I was approaching that guy, I waited, and when he started shooting, I didn't push forward. When he stopped shooting, I pushed forward. So when you're making a push, just like I said before, you know, you want to make sure your opponent is reloading, or you get them in a state of reloading, and that's when you play more aggressive. So just like I said, in the situation where you drop down from high ground to kill your opponent, try to make them waste some of their resources and ammo when you drop. That way you have a better chance at winning that fight and taking minimal damage. You also want to do the same thing when you're pushing somebody. Because when you're pushing somebody, if they have to reload, it's hard for them to stop your push or knock you down. All right, let's go ahead and let's do this thing, ladies and gentlemen. You guys ready? Now that isn't part of the educational commentary. That's just good fun. And if you want to know how to do that, you jump while looking down, and then you press W and A at the same time so that you angle your rocket so you can ride it. And that's how you conserve mats with that last play. I didn't have to build anything besides that one wall. Thank you guys so much for watching this educational commentary. This is my first game of the day too, so this is like my warm-up game plus educational commentary and a nice finish. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and thank you so much for your support. And if you're watching this on Twitch, you can follow the stream by clicking the follow button on the top right corner, and you can also potentially subscribe for free and support the stream by clicking the subscribe button up top, seeing if you have a free Twitch Prime sub, and then redeeming that free sub. 2 clicks, you'll be subbed. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that commentary.